All right, everyone. So Dave Meltzer made a big claim against WWE. We're reading from Wrestling Inc. Meltzer referred to the platform's officially released numbers for the episode as sleight of hand, though the numbers from Netflix claimed 3.1 million people around the world watched the episode. The podcast host stated that the company uses an unusual method of counting. Rather than tracking individual views, Netflix takes the total amount of hours the content is viewed in a week and divides it by the hour length of that comment or that content. However, for Raw, the company uses the shorter replay runtime rather than the live broadcast, resulting in an artificially inflated number. There are about 1.2 million viewers in the United States for the show after the Royal Rumble. Last year, they were at 1.9 million. Meltzer continued. That's a big drop. Along with that, the show has experienced a 58.6% drop in viewership since the first episode of Raw to stream live on Netflix. Meltzer noted that the episode of Raw immediately following the WWE Royal Rumble is typically one of the promotion's biggest of the year, but it brought in even fewer viewers than last week's show. I expected them to be way up, day after Rumble. Meltzer continued, woke up, saw the number, and it's like, okay, they're up. And then like 2 seconds later, I was looking at this going like, oh my God, they are manipulating the numbers. So I want to be clear, I don't fully understand the kind of how this is happening, but I'm just giving a off the top of my head view here is I feel like this is kind of outdated, right? The entire point of moving to Netflix, I think, is taking WWE away from, well, everybody has to catch this live at the exact time. The whole point of this is to allow for, yeah, people can watch this anytime they want throughout the week. So there might be a lower set of live viewers, it might not be the live broadcast is exactly where they want it to be, but I don't see that as really an issue. And the idea that it's lower than like, the Netflix premiere episode, it's like, well, yeah, of course. That was such a big event. It was a big moment. They got a lot, and that was it. And to me, ratings, I understand they're important. Don't get me wrong, and it is the driver, but you could just tell when WWE is going through a great time and when WWE is going through a bad time by looking at the audience and the audience reaction and to everything that's happening. And right now, you could tell they're going through a great time when you see how the audience reacts to everything. And so I like, because I'm just going to read this part one more time. However, for Raw, the company uses the shorter replay runtime rather than the live broadcast, resulting in an artificially inflated number. So I don't know exactly what that means, but if they mean that they're using, like what happens after, like with the people watching later, then they divide that up. If that's what they mean, I don't know how that manipulates the number necessarily. But unless it's like because you're dividing by a shorter number, yeah, I don't fully know what this actually means. Like if Netflix is just if Netflix has this way of calculating it and WWE is just giving their best case scenario to find it, I don't necessarily know how that's the biggest issue. But at the end of the day, I think everything they're doing with Netflix is great, and hopefully they continue to build and grow this thing. But put in the comment section below what you think, because I may be off on this.